everybody? Welcome to the Man Cave Live. I'm Rafael Aliyah.
And I'm John Jackson. Follow us at our Man Cave Twitter. That is at Man Cave NY Sports, capital NY, capital M. And follow us at our individual Twitters at John97Jackson, at Raf_Aliyah.
So we got a great show because baseball's underway. This is, I don't know about you, but this is one of my favorite times in sports because baseball's underway. NHL is ending, so we're going to get into the Stanley
NBA
Cup
is ending as well.
NBA is getting...
The draft is coming up.
We have the draft coming up. We just ended March Madness. The only thing that could possibly make this time of year better is if NFL was starting, but you can't have everything all at once.
At least the draft, it gives us something to look forward to.
Something with football.
Yeah.
So we're going to get started in order of starts. So I want to start with baseball because John and I, we have a league. This is our third annual fantasy league. And we're in it with, as you know, our correspondent Ethan. If you've watched the show before, you know.
Follow him on Twitter, at Ethan_Illers.
If you've seen our show before, you know Dimitri Mikas.
Follow him on Twitter, at Dim Mikas, something like that.
And then
don't follow him on Twitter.
And then we have other guys. So this is our third straight year. Year number one was tied between Ethan and John.
Last day of the season, might I add.
Last year it was me. And so we have it coming into this year. So I want to get started in fantasy baseball. Just worrying about John and my team. We're going to just grade our teams.
Yeah.
And we're going to let you know who we drafted. Get started.
Okay.
I talk too much.
This may take about
10
seconds.
5
seconds. I don't know, we'll see.
I can get mine up.
Yeah, get yours
fairly
up.
quick, so.
We're going to grade each other's teams. We're going to bash each other.
I think we should grade it like this, okay?
Yeah.
Hitters first, then pitchers, then overall. Just in general. That way
I got mine up right now.
Go ahead, let's go. If I tell him to defend it, I'm just going to have him defend it. Because...
Catcher, Buster Posey.
Yeah, you don't need to defend that.
First baseman, Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, you don't need to defend that.
Second baseman, Brian Dozier.
Yeah, you don't need to defend that.
Third baseman, second overall pick in the first round, Josh Donaldson.
Defend that because...
Okay.
Just for our viewers, because... So I had the first overall pick.
Mike Trout.
John had the second overall pick.
Donaldson.
And he decided to go with Josh Donaldson.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't like Josh Donaldson. I needed it defended, so I feel like he should have to speak for himself.
Josh Donaldson is the reigning AL MVP. Now, I don't do it just mainly because he's the reigning AL MVP. He's a third baseman, so he puts up 30-plus home runs, 100-plus RBIs, and he's at third base. That's more glaring of an issue to me than, say, an outfielder. And to be honest, I know somebody would probably pick Bryce Harper over Donaldson, and I agree based on last year. But we've seen Bryce Harper in the league since, 2012? He's had one good season last year. Yeah. I trust Donaldson over Bryce Harper. Donaldson now 2 years in a row, he's been great. 1 year he's been great. This last year, absolutely amazing.
I'm a fan of Josh Donaldson. I think he got him too early, but if he's confident on it, I think that's the best way to go. Go ahead.
Addison Russell at short/second base. Jason Kipnis. Chris Bryant, Billy Hamilton. Now, my outfield, I didn't.
His outfield. Well, let me first grade your.
Yeah. Okay. My outfield.
Let me grade your hitters.
I got my outfield: Billy Hamilton, Corey Dickerson, Shin-Soo Choo, Alex Gordon, Brian Buxton, and just to finish off my team before you critique Prince Fielder at DH, Trevor Story. This is an up-and-coming shortstop on the Rockies. I just picked him up recently. And Michael Conforto, he was my last
John
pick.
is about as high on Trevor's Story as a 7-story building, okay? Excuse my pun, but that's how high he is on him. So if I'm going to grade your hitters, obviously your infield is great. I like your infield a lot.
Outfield, I understand. I addressed that last.
Outfield, I have some problems with, and I have a little problem with your depth just because, they're unproven. But I'm gonna give you.
Who's unproven out of this group?
Trevor Story.
That's unproven, but I always go for We
only have 3 bench spots, so when I'm talking depth, you have 1/3 guy unproven. So
he already has 3 home runs in 2 games, but I don't do it based on that. He's a high prospect coming into the Colorado organization. They rank him pretty much as high as any shortstop coming up in that organization, aside from Troy Tulowitzki.
We got some news.
Josh Donaldson, better be good news.
Josh Donaldson left Wednesday's game with unknown injury.
Great, wonderful, terrific news. My first overall pick.
Second overall pick in the draft.
So
I hope everything's okay with that because I hate to win that way.
Yeah.
But I'm giving it a B plus because I think your outfield took a hit. I would give it like a B plus A minus. It could go either way.
Okay.
I'm a generous grader. I'd probably boost it to the A minus, based on SAT scores and whatnot.
So just for the audience to know, I usually go for the 1 or 2 unproven picks, prospects, and it usually pans out. Last year, some people had doubts about Chris Bryant. I didn't. I picked him, kept him on my team for a month.
About Chris Bryant.
No,
you just beat us to the. You just beat me to the punch.
No, he was on the waiver list. Carlos Correa as well, and in the past, some others.
John's also much better in the free agency.
Yeah,
than
the waiver pickups.
So he's scarier than he looks.
But just to quickly, since we've already hit 6 minutes,
go ahead.
My pitchers: Corey Kluber, Chris Archer, Jose Fernandez, Sonny Gray, Mark Melancon, Adam Wainwright, Zach Britton, Brad Ziegler, Sean Tolleson, Jordan Zimmerman, Michael Wacha.
So I already told you my problems with it and my compliments of it. I'm gonna give it an A minus because
fair enough.
It's good if they all perform like they could.
Oh, they have in the past.
And they have.
Yeah.
So
even as recent as last year for most of these pitchers.
I would go as far as to say that they're going to be a solid.
So
I think they'll be solid.
Let's go on yours now as we approach the 7-minute mark.
Just stop me if you have any questions.
Okay.
Travis Darnell catching. My starting first baseman. Excuse me. Starting first baseman is Rizzo. I got second baseman Cano. Third baseman, I waited a long time for my third baseman, so I got Evan Longoria, not terrible.
Good.
Carlos Correa.
Excellent.
Ian Kinsler.
Good.
My corner infielder is Mikhail Franco. I think. I'm sorry. That's my bench guy. My corner infielder is Young Ho Park for the Minnesota
From
Twins. From Korea, yeah.
Second player, last year we saw Gong from the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I like that pickup. That's usually what I do.
I think that he'll be a decent.
Yeah, I think so too.
Moving on to my outfield, Nelson Cruz, can't really complain. George Springer, Ryan Braun, Brett Gardner, Jock Peterson. I also have Mike Trout.
Obviously.
And Delino DeShields.
Yeah,
he was my last overall pick.
Yeah, that
was actually the last overall pick of the draft. And then my DH is Alex Rodriguez because I'm high on A-Rod.
Yeah.
Not that he took steroids or anything this year.
Not at all.
But I think he's going to have a great season. I think he hits 30 home runs.
Yeah. Continue on, though.
You want to grade my hitters?
Your hitters, I say that's a strength. I'm going to give you an A minus.
A minus.
A minus. There's always room for improvement. We have DeShields. But no, that's good. I'm actually very, very proud of your hitting.
Thank you.
Yes.
Here's my pitchers. Jake Arrieta, Carlos Carrasco, Wade Davis, Felix Hernandez, John Lester, Steven Matz.
Good.
Houston Street, Francisco. It's Houston.
Yeah,
I know. I said Hudson all last year, and you just kept correcting me. Houston Street, Francisco Liriano, and Masahiro Tanaka, not just because I'm a Yankee fan, but because I waited very late for him.
Now, I know Tanaka definitely has always question marks. Liriano, he's pretty good. There's one other in there. Which one did I like? Carrasco, I'm not a huge fan of. And Lester, I think it's definitely overrated. So I'm going to give
I'm not overrating Lester at all.
Yeah.
I just think on a new team with this Cubs team, I think...
I think he's going to have a bounce back. I'm going to give you a B+ for that.
Well, thank you. So averages, basically, John has an A-, and I guess I have an A- as well. So we'll see how it goes. I don't think we should really care about standings until, like, May. I think that's when injuries start getting into play. So that's it. That's what we want to.
So if you want to have a fantasy baseball league, follow our model. We have had success in the past.
We have had success in the past.
Be smart and look for some
I've had
prospects.
success in the past. Don't even.
I have too.
Don't even look. Don't even. No, I'm just joking.
Tied for first, last day of the season. Anyway, that's the first part of our show.
He wants to play.